judge has not put the law on hold. We're referring to a July 1st law that went into effect that social media companies operating in Minnesota have to tell their users their algorithm. Now, I have looked on several social media sites and none of them are showing their algorithm. And this really begs the question of how Minnesota plans to enforce these new laws surrounding social media, because it's just not this law. Another new law went into effect July 1st of 2025, which is in regard to content creators that are children being paid and how much they are allowed to be in content. And then on top of that, there was another law that was passed this legislative session that will begin July 1st of 2026, which requires social media companies to present Minnesotans with a pop-up that talks about the dangers of social media on a person's mental health. And it also has to provide resources about how bad social media is for mental health. NetChoice, which is the firm that is suing Minnesota right now, has already said that if that law, the one about mental health, goes into effect, they will sue the state of Minnesota once again. However, they have said that they plan to go to the Capitol over the next legislative session and try to get the legislators to roll back these laws when it comes to social media here in Minnesota. So we will have to see if Keith Ellison, who's our attorney general, will start suing these social media companies, because that is the course of action here in Minnesota, to hold these social media companies accountable for the new laws that have started here in Minnesota. I think that these cases are going to be lengthy cases and eventually get to the Supreme Court. Well, the Supreme Court will have to decide whether or not regulations should be placed on social media companies. So it will be an interesting process. Again, it will be a lengthy one. I hope that no one puts a hold on these laws and they stay in effect until we have the decision from the higher courts. Okay, have a good day. Bye.